What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka 68J, coming to you on this Friday evening, and I have some of the most amazing. I gotta ask my wife if I got to see this most beautiful women on planet Earth. EARF. Let's start with my sister, Lady K. How you doing?
I am good tonight. How are you?
I am so good, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you ladies as I follow everything that you guys are doing throughout the week and month, and you guys are doing some extraordinary things. We're gonna be talking about that and much more. Optimistic Prime, how you doing, sir, ma'am, sir?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you and the ladies tonight.
I appreciate it. I think I need more coffee. Okay, let's go into Melissa, WorldBeFree. How you doing, sis?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Jay? Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay, now I just got a pop up here. Are we live? Okay.
Yep, we're
It
live.
shows that we are for sure.
Okay. All right. Great. Because I just got a message. That was kind of weird. Okay. And then Keita1211. How are you, sis?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing really, really well. It's the end of a week, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me as well, Jay.
Well, I'm excited to hear about everything that you guys have going on. But before we kick it off, you know how we do it up over here. We got to make sure we celebrate these women the only way we know how. Ladies' night. Let's do it. All right, that's the way you started off, guys. All right, let's get with it. So, wait, share streamer.com, sharing this tab. Okay, we're going to end that. And let's get into how you guys been doing? Anybody? Why did I just go mute?
I muted. I muted.
Oh, you muted. Okay.
I said, I'm glad it's Friday. I don't know about you ladies, but it has been a whirlwind week. Nonstop, go, go, go. And I am glad it's ladies' night and it's Friday night.
I have to second that. Listen, it has been one crazy week, and I'm excited to be here. And y'all don't even know I'm gonna be out of here next week for a whole week. I'm super excited about that. So you don't even know how happy I am that it's Friday.
Oh, wow. Heading out on vacation?
Yes, I'll be taking a cruise starting on Monday, and it'll go through the entire week. So I'm excited for that to totally unplug.
Oh, cruises are the best. No making up the bed, cleaning the house, all you can
That's
eat. Oh,
right.
they're amazing.
For sure.
Definitely got to enjoy that. So let's get into what's going on with you guys. I'm really, really excited. You guys have some new things going on. Let's talk about Digital Ladies Unscripted, if you guys don't mind.
Super excited, Jay, about this. Yeah, so I've been, the ladies' shows have always been extremely popular from the time that you had yours. We've had a couple ladies' night on Dip a Toe show. And of course, there's always the spaces. There's lots of ladies. But people are always real interested and engaged in the ladies' night. And so I've been thinking about it for a long time. And the other day, I said to Keita, hey, would you be interested in co-hosting a ladies show with me? And possibly we could get Amanda and Kristen to be rotating co-hosts so that we wouldn't all have to be responsible to be every single Monday, right? So because we all are busy and have lives and everything. Right. And it snowballed, man. In a 1 week's time, boom, we've got the show. We're doing it. And our first show went live on Monday, and it was fantastic. We got a great reception, and of course the ladies are just fantastic. My sisters, I'm so excited to be doing this show with them.
I'm excited and I want to hear more about it. Now, I did tune in for a hot second because was it Memorial Day? That was actually
Labor Day.
It was my birthday,
The
September 1st.
birthday.
Yeah,
and happy belated birthday again to you, Jay, for sure.
Thank you. But I was like in the car while the wife, I said, you drive, you don't mind. So I was watching it because it was you guys' debut. I said, I got to make sure I support my sister. And I agree, guys, it's not easy going live every single week. I remember when we started Ladies Night, we had this, thought process that was right around the time that Fruition Productions came out, and some of us, like me and you, Melissa, were in that documentary. And it's kind of, it's a great concept, but it got overwhelming for even me because I was like, dang, I got something to do this Friday, that Friday. So no, I definitely think it, but here's what I'll say. The response was overwhelming. And I know that you guys are going to kill it because here's the funny thing I remember from that. Some of your biggest fans were men.
Yes.
Like it was just nuts. Like I had all these guys reaching out to me going, and it wasn't for like, because you're a lady. They were like, man, the perspective, the mindsets, the intelligence was just different. They were kind of tired of hearing the same old. So I said, oh my God, we got something big. But then it just got crazy for me because I got so many things going on in my life with movies, with this, with that, with, all the things that I have going. So I'm so excited to see you guys take this to another level, and especially with the core of how we all started back in the day. So if you guys don't mind sharing, just what do you now we had the first one, but what do you hope to see out of Ladies Night? What is your mission? What are your goals? And why are you guys all individually excited about it?
I'll let Lady K go first.
Oh, well, I mean, I hope that it attracts other ladies in this space that don't feel comfortable talking to maybe come on and have those conversations and get their perspective. And I'm also hoping that, the men can bring their wives and that maybe we can relate to them better.
Yeah. Let me make a comment after that, if I don't mind. I think a lot of times we find either the women who are in crypto and their husbands are supportive, or the men that are in crypto and the wives are supportive, and they don't really know like what to do, because it's such a male dominant deal. And I just think it's beautiful and it's enlightening. And I remember, and again, I don't mean this in any other way. Like I remember seeing like Brooke and OptiMystic Prime and Melissa and Keita and even you, Lady Kate, on different times, not all together. And then when we got on Ladies, I was like, I kind of felt stupid. I was like, oh my God, these are some brilliant women. Like you guys' knowledge is incredible, and I really feel good that you guys have a platform to share that. So I definitely agree, Christian. It's a beautiful place for women, and I think everybody to connect because the perspective is so refreshing and different. A lot of times guys are just really this and that, and women just bring a different perspective, and I love it. I'm a big fan already. So anybody else?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way as Kristen. I think I said it on the show last on Monday that one of my favorite parts of doing the events this year was meeting the ladies behind the men, and like your beautiful wife, and happy birthday. I heard it last week on your show, and I was like, I couldn't remember what day it was. So I'm glad you had a good birthday.
Thank you.
But like, meeting Jeanette and, the ladies behind the men. And like, one of my favorite things was meeting Janet and Evelyn, who are behind David XRP and Rob Nichols from IMU TV. And, I didn't even know they existed. And I walked in and they're like, Opti. I'm like, hi. Who are you? And as soon as I realized that they'd been in the background listening and they knew all about me, but I didn't know them, it felt like I was at home. And just, I always say to the ladies, like, thanks so much for sharing your partners with us, because it takes a certain kind of woman to allow women to befriend their partners. And that's what's so exceptional about this space, is that the women that are hidden in the background, they are listening and they are paying attention, and they they matter and they mean something. And so I'm really hoping the same thing as Kristen, that it really brings out the women in the background, and makes them sort of feel a little bit more at home, and that they maybe take on their own wallets, because so many of them are like, oh no, he handles that. It's like my husband. My husband's the opposite. He's like, no, Amanda handles that, So I was like, Jamie, you need your own wallet,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. And, you know, it's amazing when you have, you know, supporting spouses. You know, I'm so thankful for my wife. And as you're talking about your husband, OptiMystic Prime. And I tell you, I almost had a moment. I got to confess something. You know, XRP Las Vegas meetup 2025 this year was incredible. And I felt like it was really special. We did some incredible things. Some of you women that were there, well, 3 of you guys that were there, you know, I was able to present you guys with awards and things like that. Just letting you guys know how much you mean to me and mean to our family. And I remember, you know, Melissa's husband. What is your husband's name again? Ryan, man, I tell you, that sucker almost choked me up. You know, he walked up and he's telling me thank you, and I really didn't know. I thought he was introducing himself, and he just said, "I want to thank you so much for my wife and what you did," and her getting a couple words. And then he got emotional, and I had to look up like I had something in my eye. I was like, "Wait a minute, I think, hold on, I think I cut my." I mean, it was just such an emotional moment to see. But again, it goes both ways: supporting wives and supporting husbands. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
100%.
For me, I will say it has always been amazing to have great conversations with the ladies.
Yeah.
And it's always great when a lot of it, especially like Lady K is so knowledgeable. Opti is so knowledgeable about many different things. Like Lady K is a validator. Hello. You know what I mean? And, you know, it is very male dominated. And then you have Melissa, who is just bringing just information to so many people. And it's so beautiful to see it. And then to be able to say, I've met most of these ladies in person, which I'm sure I'm going to meet Lady K very soon, I'm sure. But I've actually gotten a chance to hug their necks and talk to them and break bread with them and to be able to understand them as people. And then to bring the different type of the feminine perspective. It's not that we are less than, and I'm not saying that like we feel that way at all, because the men in this have been so great with us and so, you know, great in making sure that we understand how things move and how this industry is. So for me, all of it has been so great. I've gotten a chance, just like meeting Janet was just amazing. Megan, who's Simon's better half. And, you know, I mean, it's been so, and Miss Jeanette, oh my gosh, what a lovely spirit she is.
Thank you.
It's so great to be able to have these types of conversations. And then also just to talk shop. You know what I mean? We're all in this digital asset and cryptocurrency space for a reason. And so it's great to really understand it. And then I've got my girl over here, Miss WorldBeFree, who is just bringing all of the info to everybody and making sure that all of those projects that are really doing big things are seen and heard and have a safe space in order for them to be able to present themselves. So that's the beauty of it for me.
Absolutely.
Well, the biggest vision for Digital Ladies Unscripted, and the reason that why I really, really wanted to do it is, you know, it's not easy doing this. You know, it's not easy doing a show, Jay. I see so many beautiful people out there working their butts off. They shine like diamonds, and I wanted to create a space where women could come in, that they are going to be the spotlight. It doesn't mean that we'll never have men or we'll never talk to men. We encourage men to come in. We love you. We think of you as partners. You're our partners in all of this. But I really wanted to provide a safe place for women that are dipping their toe, you know, to become more comfortable if they have aspirations for having their own show, whether it's a space or creating their own channel, creating their own business where they're going to be on camera, and having a safe space for them to learn the ropes, right? And also, you know, it is to do with this perspective, because there's Ryan, huh? Yeah, he said he was going to do this.
Hey, Ryan, you're messing up my question, man. That's my second question.
You're messing up the question. That's the second question. He's not there yet.
Tell my buddy I said hello.
That was so good.
Hello, Ryan.
Talk about a supportive man. Hello.
But in any event, yeah, it's really all about sharing our perspective, chopping it up a bit, and like you said, everyone has that spouse on the other end, and they're listening, they're watching us move. And I always say, I don't say, boy, there's not that many women in the space. I say, man, look at all the women in the space.
I agree.
Because if you build it, they will come. And we're building it. And I couldn't think of a better group of ladies to build Digital Ladies Unscripted with. So.
And I appreciate that. And I want to make a comment as we go into Lady K here and hear her feedback. But I remember when we started this, I don't know, Ladies Night, maybe a year ago, whatever it was. And one of the reasons, because it was so much tribalism, honestly, so many attacks against women. I remember with Brooke and with you, and with Maya, and with some of you guys, Lady K, a lot of you guys were dealing with a bunch of nonsense and crap. I remember even us trying to form Ladies Night was kind of hard because, people who were connected to people and all that. So do you guys feel, and I guess this will go towards Lady K and all you guys, do you feel like the space is getting better towards all that stuff that was going on towards, some of the women in this space and things like that? Has it gotten a little better, a little easier?
I can speak on that. Go for it.
You know what? I'm not really sure, but I can say that it's gotten easier to drown out the noise and just move forward with what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't encourage it, and you don't engage with it.
Right.
That's what I see. This is how I feel, Jay. We don't have that much time. All of our time and energy that we're spending learning about this stuff, for every moment that you focus on a negative or you engage in negative propaganda or whatever it is, it takes you back several steps. And so I choose to not entertain it. Yeah, and and that's just how we roll.
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, I agree with that. At the end of the day, there's no one that can stop my progress aside from myself.
That's right. That's right.
No one. Yeah, I don't care what the situation is, know. And from this vantage point, I look at it as, we're here to enlighten, we're here to uplift, we're here to make sure that everyone is shining, you know what I mean? And anything that is outside of that will be revealed at some point. So it's none of my business how people move.
The reason I asked is because, we came from a time when we first started Ladies Night, this show a year ago. We were at a time where we had a 50 cents XRP, a very confused America, a very dark America. The SEC, which is now pro crypto, our president and politicians are pro crypto, versus back then it wasn't very popular, and all the things that they were doing against crypto. Obviously, the war on crypto rigged from the start and all that stuff. And to where we're at today is almost not. It's not fashionable to talk bad about crypto, whether you're a politician. Like these days, no one's really saying anything negative about crypto. And I don't feel like anyone's really saying negative the way they were, all that controversy was going on a year ago. So, but I do want to ask you guys this. Lately, and I want some feedback on this, ever since Trump came into office, XRP mooned up to like 340 something. And it seemed like it started pissing off a lot of people in the Bitcoin community. We had, different communities just speaking out on XRP, which I've never, if we have anything that we're guilty of, is being excited from knowing what we know. That's the thing that XRP communities get. We're just excited because we know what we know. And we've been anticipating all these things that are not coming. But why do you guys feel every time you turn around, and recently it's been Litecoin, and I'm sorry, I'm a kid from Brooklyn, so when I'll protect my sisters, I'll protect my family, and I'll protect my XRP family. So I kind of been on social media a little bit, kind of going round and round with telling people to cut it out. But why do you feel that's a thing? Like if it wasn't Bitcoin maxis, if it wasn't a little couple jabs at from XLM and a couple other things, why do you feel companies like and then that one guy, I can't think of the name, he came out and said anybody who has XRP is retarded. And I'm like, what?
Robert Breedlove.
Yeah. I'm like, what? So like, why do you think this is still happening, and why do they not see what we see?
Well, I'll answer last because I got something to say.
Okay, yeah.
I'm confused where the narrative came from as well, because like I spent the entire bear market with Bitcoiners saying, you don't want the government, you want decentralized cryptocurrency. Like, and I was just like, well, if you think you're going to do this without the government, you probably have another thing coming. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it like flipped and they were all about the government and they were like, it's just going to be Bitcoin. And I'm like, what happened? So I have no idea.
And let me add this, as everybody else makes a comment. I have a millionaire friend of mine who's in crypto, a couple of them, and they hit me up and said, Jay, why did he say that? They said, we actually liked that guy until he said that. I don't know if he knows how much damage he caused by I mean, that's not even a popular word in society. And to label and attack the XRP community like that, along with Litecoin, you guys.
I was so disappointed, Jay, because Robert Breedlove. Okay, so I started out in Bitcoin initially. Right. I learned everything I could learn. I was engaging with all these people. Had a Johnny Litecoin came in one of our private groups and talked about his payment thing, and he was a really nice fella. I really respected Robert Breedlove. I thought he was a gentle, soft-spoken person, loved his name, spreading love, and him coming out calling people retards. It's not a good look at all. It's very disappointing. Yeah. But number one, you have to understand some of these bigger people that have been in it for a long time, whether they initially intended on being an influencer or and then they got swooped up in the money and the fame and the direction. And then when people own you, they own you. Right. And so I can't imagine somebody who I thought was very intelligent sabotaging his reputation in such a way, because everybody knows, like you said, that is not an acceptable term to call people. And it just seemed really out of character. But yet there were some things that went down with him that were very out of character with him quite a while ago surrounding his woman issues and the things he was pushing. So something squirrely was happening with him already. And then the Johnny Litecoin guy, again, very disappointing. He is an intelligent person. Like I said, I've spoken to him on private things before, and I can only think it's engagement. It's engagement farming. And so we have to remember, whenever something like this happens, instead of using it as a negative arm and react, it is a great opportunity to educate. And so I look at it like, okay, in their own ways, these guys are bringing XRP to the forefront, and they're bringing it in front of people, their audience, in their way. And so we need to behave appropriately and just come with facts, not arrogance, not argumentative. Just give the facts and let people dip their toe on their own, and the rest is history. Because the people that do buy Bitcoin and Litecoin, these are good people that are intelligent, and if you just let them learn on their own, they will. So
yeah, there was something that came out when they did that, right after they did that, and it was some kind of like a deal talking about the ratings for XRP or people engaging with XRP was through the roof because of all this hate and all this stuff that was going on. He said something, and I'll give it back to you ladies, but he says something when you heard him ranting on about us being retards. He said that what I got out of it, he was very upset as he mentioned that if it wasn't for XRP and assets like XRP, all that liquidity would be going into Bitcoin. And I'm thinking, God, is that why you guys are mad? I mean, it was just
till it actually happens.
Well, and here's the other aspect of it too. I mean, you have to realize when you are a person that really believes in one thing and can't see anything else.
Yeah.
Anything that is in opposition to that is going to be almost like the devil to them.
Yeah.
And they're going to go after it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. That's the reason why I never say that I'm an XRP maxi.
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm a utility maxi. I want to know what you can do and how you can do it. Okay. Right. It doesn't matter what chain you're on. It doesn't matter what blockchain. It doesn't matter what the name of your coin is. I want to understand what your project is. And I want to understand and get a meta understanding of, hey, this solves this problem, or this is what we can utilize in place of this not to do away with that, but just to say, okay, we need something better and we need something faster. So if we
Right.
need that and we have that, why not utilize that? And
Well,
that's not to throw shade. It's
Yeah.
just, hey, this is the better thing.
Well, I think that the issue and the thing that I see as I connect all the dots, right? Whether it's Litecoin, a couple, I think it wasn't XLM people, but it was actually the Stellar X account. It was Bitcoin Maxes is what this guy said. And then the CIO of Swift came out and said something along the lines of, just because you win a lawsuit doesn't mean this is not towards XRP. So, but when I connect those dots and I look at the very top of that circle and you got the SEC, I guess my question is why? Why did the SEC sue us? Why are these people hating us? Like, aren't we just another
Rites of
aspect?
passage.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it almost, somebody had made this comment on X. It almost validates what XRP is and how important it is to this world. Because if it wasn't, it's kind of like my mom says, son, if they didn't, they pick on you because they like you, or something along those lines. But I think at the end of the day, they're all threatened. But yeah, just more feedback on that if you guys don't mind. Just everybody, just little shade coming from everywhere regarding XRP.
But at the same time, you have to think about it like this, all of the greats, all of those disruptors were all sued by the SEC. Right. Amazon, Google, Tesla, they were all disruptors. And they all were sued by the SEC.
How do you control the narrative? You are on opposite sides of the fence. Problem, reaction, solution, the chosen one, the foundations laid out there. And if you create the problem, you create the arguments on both sides, you can shift the narrative where it needs to go. And that's exactly what I think has happened in this situation.
Yeah, I
across the board.
I agree. Well, we don't want to give any negativity too much light, right? So at the end of the day, let's move on to probably one of the reasons they're all upset, which is the hottest topic right now in the space, which is XRP ETFs. And we can see, guys, obviously there's a lot of stuff going around right now. I posted something today where you see Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Alderete, and a list of people. Matter of fact, let's see if I can pull it up. All of which are there's this big conference coming up in regards to regulatory clarity and talking about crypto and let me see if I can pull it up. And here are the people who are attending. I want to get you guys' feedback on this. So I can find it here. Where's that? Right here. Okay. So you see this is coming up right now. This conference. And it's going to include Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple.
Is that Swell?
Yeah, Swell. You got Nasdaq's going to be there. Several people from Ripple, BNY Mellon. You got one of the things that everybody's kind of going crazy. BlackRock is going to be there. Citibank is going to be there. Franklin Templeton.
That Sandy Gale is smart. Fidelity. If you've ever heard her talk, she is a very smart lady.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, a lot of people feel like the end of this year is a possibility where these ETFs get approved. I think a lot of the dates that you see with like the 20 different ETFs is in October, maybe October 20th, and maybe like
wasn't September 17th a big date too, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure if it's with the ETFs because I actually have the dates that I shared yesterday. It actually had the if I can find it, but it had all the dates that these are due by. So I guess my question is, and it could be, Keaton, something could be coming up in September. I guess my question is, what would possible ETFs approval in October, if that was to happen, mean for the price of the asset and for those who hold it?
Isn't it, from what I'm understanding, when it comes to the ETFs, those institutions that are actually implementing those ETFs have to also hold XRP. And if that's the case, and if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be 1-to-1. So if that's the case, then that's going to do a huge thing because those institutions would have to acquire said asset, right? And if they have to acquire the asset, that adds into the scarcity that could also propel some type of a liquidity event.
Yeah, you're right, sis. And if you notice over the last, couple months, we've been seeing large amounts of XRP moved from wallet to wallet. So, that could be very likely that that's being set up for the ETFs that are soon to come next month.
It's also going to open up this asset to people who would not figure out how to hold this asset otherwise, who are very traditional with their brokerage and follow that financial advice because they don't have the time to look in and make those decisions on their own. So that's a big plus, and so that's exciting.
Yeah, Lady K, just to touch on that, a lot of people don't realize, and I want to hand this back to you, but people don't realize it's still scary to get in crypto for most people. I got a lot of family members. They'll ask me, and then I'll tell them, and they just don't want to do it. They're like, it's just I don't want to take the risk and lose money. So I think that's going to help the majority. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and it opens it up to pension funds and things of that nature too, right? And there's a lot of money there. And then it's going to be regularly traded. So it's going to, help this stability and volume there.
Yeah.
Well, they say it could attract like $5 to $8 billion in the first year with having an XRP ETF. And I mean, that is a significant amount of money flowing into it. I think it's a really good thing. And, yes, I agree that it's gonna allow folks to dip their toe into these assets. In my view, it's also going to allow the money to flow into things like XRP and even the Bitcoin ETFs and that kind of like a baby step type of deal where, they're going to try to control it as much as possible because the money has to come from somewhere. So the money is going to come from traditional investments. They're going to go out of the traditional investments into this type of thing. And so in my view, this is a controlled way to do that. Unfortunately, for the person buying into an ETF, they have to understand that they're not owning the real asset. Yeah. And so while it is a wonderful thing, it's a champion for us that hold XRP because I believe that it will increase the value of XRP. And at some point, folks won't be able to buy the real asset themselves. And so it's a perfect time to dip your toe and start learning about it and get the real thing for now and then diversify your portfolio when the time comes.
I want the rest of you ladies to think about that question in regards to if these ETFs get approved, because obviously we've heard Jake Claver be super bullish and make some predictions towards the end of this year. We've heard Dom and Phil over at EZA talk about if these things happen. I want you guys to check this out. It's about a 34-second little clip from Mikkel of what he had to say about it.
What we're seeing is the CME, which is probably the most non-retail market out there, is seeing an explosion of interest greater than Bitcoin, greater than Solana, greater than Ethereum in XRP. Now, guys, the amount of money we're talking about here is going to be massive. We talked about the XRP ETFs that are around the corner, probably bringing in close to $8 to $9 billion of inflow. And with what we're seeing on the CME data right here, I would not be surprised if the XRP ETFs were some of the most successful ETFs to ever hit the market.
Thoughts on that, guys?
How many ETFs are actually out there right now? That's my question.
Yeah, I think the last I checked, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. The last I actually had this pulled up, let me see if I can find it.
The last I heard it was like 17 or 18, but I know it's way more than that.
Yeah, it's in the 20s now, like low 20s. Let's see if I can pull that up. But yeah, just so if those things happen, we get the ETFs, and again, I'm not out there talking about no $100. I'll keep it very, very modest. But there's a lot of people. I think one of the consistent numbers I hear, if we do have, because here's the thing, they're not going to approve it for one and not approve it for the next. So if these ETFs do come out, God forbid we hear anything from BlackRock, right? If we got to, let's say, and again, this is not me saying it, this is like a consistent number with everyone else, that $18 to $26 mark for XRP by the end of the year. Where do you think that puts XRP when it actually sits there and becomes the number two? Because at those numbers, it's possible. People are saying XRP could become the number two asset ahead of Ethereum. We don't need a big jump from that. And $20 puts us way ahead of them in regards to market. Now, obviously, Ethereum can head up as well, but Ethereum doesn't have the type of fire or fuel behind it like ETFs has, which can catapult this asset through the roof. Where do you guys think that, if we had a number two XRP, where do you think the sentiment would be in the market? I personally think it's going to be massive FOMO. And for all those people who are sitting out there trying to hate, I think it kind of puts a zipper on their mouth, because at the end of the day, when you look at the top 5 assets, ladies, and I'm going to show this again. I mean, for the average, and I don't know where you guys are from. I'm being a little, but where I'm from, nobody in my family has 110 grand to buy 1 Bitcoin. Very few people have enough to buy 2 Ethereum at $4,300. Even fewer have enough to buy a bag of BNB at $8.51. Solana 203, maybe they can get a handful, but sitting at $2.81, or let's say even at that point, if we got to a $10, $15, $20, what do you think that would mean for the average person? As they continuously get priced out? I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking at, is that people are going to start getting priced out. I even think at $5 or $10.
I mean, even at 2 something, they're getting priced out from holding significant bags. Us little guys that can't afford it, we don't have, $10,000 to invest to get a significant amount. It's already getting there. So, however, as you've mentioned on your show before, the price of Bitcoin. If you could buy Bitcoin at $5 right now, would you do it? Heck yeah, I would. Would you buy it at 100? Would you buy it at 200? Would you buy it at 300? Yes, you would. And so, but people will more than likely start to FOMO in, and then you're going to get more and more about the people talking about market cap and circulating supply and yada, yada, yada. And, however, when you talk about the utility of XRP and what it does and what people are using it for, and realize that this asset has many use cases and that people are going to be locking it up, meaning it's not circulating. Right. That is different than some of these other things that people talk about when it comes to market cap and circulating supply. So a utility asset is different, and that's just my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
What I do find very interesting is nowadays, like those of us that have been in it for a while, like we've been DCAing, we've been, purchasing from, different price points and things of that nature, right? And so where we were looking at getting a certain amount or looking at working towards a certain amount, now you have people out here, I'm just happy if I get to 1,000. I'm happy if I get to 2,000. You see what I'm saying? And those of us that have been in it for a while, that have been trying to get this information out there and have people purchasing at the lower price points, now it's like we're just, I mean, for myself, I'm kind of sitting back. And it's not that I won't talk to people about it. At the same time, I know it can be difficult to have those types of conversations with people, that now are FOMOing in and trying to understand this, I mean, because I know Melissa has, I'm sure Lady K has, and I'm sure Opti has, literally sat there and tried to talk to people until they're blue in the face, and then they get the deer in headlights look, and and they're like, what was that? I don't understand. So I understand where people are coming from now. And it just seems like it's not until they see either big people in it, meaning like people that have a whole lot of money in it, or that it's at a high price that they feel like they need to buy into it. Like, I feel like that's backward, like completely backward. But hey, that's just my thought. That's just my thought process.
No, and I agree. For years, and I've known some of you ladies for years, we were yelling at the mountaintop at 30, 40, even some of us go back further, 20, 17 cents. But most people who've been on probably recently, we saw it just not even a year ago, 10 months ago at 50 cents. And even back then, I was telling people, like, we don't understand, like a lot of us who weren't, I wasn't in Bitcoin in 2012 or nothing like that. Didn't get in crypto until 2017. But like when you hear about somebody right now who have even 100 Bitcoin, you'd think that's impossible. Dude, there's no way. There's no way you got 100 Bitcoin. And I think a lot of us today, a lot of people be saying the same thing about us in 2030, whatever, and moving forward. Like, Melissa, there's no way you've got 1,000 XRP. Stop it. Lady K, there's no way, Keita. There's no way, OptiMystic Prime, you've even got 100. And I think that time is coming as this price goes up, because think about it. If we do see a $25 XRP by the end of the year, it'd be hard for most people to hold 100.
Yeah, that's very valid. Very, very valid. Those 2 zeros behind whatever they hold, you know what I'm saying, is going to be pretty substantial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is interesting. I mean, not for nothing, the way that it's priced right now, these prices right now don't even move me. Like, especially if you've done your research and you've been reading about it, or you've been watching, all of the things that have come out, watching the court case, watching all of the other things that are going on with it, the partnerships and all of that, you already know where this is going. So if you already know where it's going, all of this other stuff is just fluff, and all of it is just, it's noise. It's noise in your ear. And, it's the time right now to delve into other things and to learn more about the blockchain, what's happening, not just with the coin itself, but what's also happening with the XRPL and what's being built, what's being grown, what's happening, and as we have gotten into, Vegas and met some of the people and the different projects that are coming on chain, it has really broadened my whole horizons when it comes to what's happening there and how I can become a part of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's crazy because when I think about what a lot of us, all you guys that are here, we're here doing the Gary Gensler era. And to think about what we look at today now, because we're at PriceWise, one of the greatest blessings, it almost sometimes hurts my heart, because I know there's a lot of friends and family that were on the fence at 50 cents. And the reason they never got off the fence is because of all the crap and chaos that was going on. So a lot of people really missed it because of the old SEC and what Gary Gensler and those guys did. And I think, when you go back and you look at how did people feel at a 4-cent Bitcoin, a $1 Bitcoin when Da Vinci J, we all know Da Vinci J when he was on YouTube, 12 years ago, he was saying, just buy one Bitcoin for $1, and I think we're in a mindset right now where a lot of people can't believe. And I want to talk to you guys about that. Just why is it that people, when we actually do have a reference, WorldBeFree, Lady K, OptiMystic, Prime, Nikita, we actually have something to look back at. We have an asset that was 4 cents, $1, $5, $10, and people keep me to fathom 1,000. And here we are, 111,000, and it's down freaking $13,000. We're still at 111,000. So why is it that people, when you go back and you look and go, wow, it already happened once, and then there's something that was created to be better in every way, why can't people get in their mind that this $2 and something, $3 asset can't reach 100,000, and we have to be called retarded or crazy for thinking that? Why can't people see that? Lady K, anybody? Kita, WorldBeFree, somebody?
Your mic is.
Are you muted, Lady K? Because I think I saw your lips moving, but I didn't hear you.
I have some girls going to a football game tonight. It's Friday night. Sorry.
Nice.
But
being a mom.
I do have thoughts about this, though. I don't know. I can't fathom it either, right? I mean, I actually know a guy who bought Bitcoin. I know a couple guys who bought Bitcoin like when it came out, right? And the computer broke because it was like on a desktop, because this is the time frame we were in. And he lugged that computer from house to house as he moved in. He went, you know what? I've had this thing for years. It's broken. Bitcoin has never moved. He threw it out.
No.
Yeah. So I think XRP is the same way. And you know what? Somebody said something during the bear market about Bitcoin that really made me relate to XRP. And it was, the last bear market, we were wondering if Bitcoin was going to survive. And now we're talking about whether Bitcoin's price is going to come back. We're better off. And I'm thinking, we're in a lawsuit. We're wondering if XRP is going to survive. The next bear market, we're just going to be talking about price.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I've got a 31-year-old son here that reminded me when I got into crypto. And he goes, this is in 17. He goes, Dad, that was that thing that you used to give me $20 or $40 to buy when I used to play video games online. He goes, that's that thing that I used to buy. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah.
My kid is the same age, Jay. He came home and said, Mom, so-and-so's bought this digital money thing and he's buying stuff with it. And I want to buy some. And I'm like, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. Like, I told the kid, no, that was stupid. That was really dumb. However, most people that did buy it back then, they didn't know what we know now, right? Hindsight's 2020. And like you said, we have the opportunity of a lifetime because we have historic
Right.
events that have happened surrounding Bitcoin. And if you did your due diligence and you learned about Bitcoin and what it was potentially what problems it wanted to solve, and then you did your research, and crypto's not for sissies, you got to do your own research, learn what XRP does, and realize what the potential is here, you will never sell your XRP at $5, $10, $20. Right?
So crazy. I see sometimes, and look, I got Bitcoin. I started dollar cost averaging Bitcoin at $3,500, right? And the thing that gets me is when you see these maxis or these people, I just have to call it what it is, because I don't even feel like I think it was OptiMystic Prime or maybe Kita. I'm not a maxi. It's one of my biggest holdings, but I think it became that way. It wasn't one of my biggest holdings early on, but it gradually, because I had to start looking, okay, what's going to change the world? Is it Shiba? Is it this or is it that? So I started consolidating a lot of my positions as I started understanding where this was going. The thing that bothers me sometimes, and maybe just as a person who loves people, right, is when I see these maxis, ladies, they'll get on and tell people you have a better opportunity in buying 0.1 Bitcoin than you do in putting your money in this other crap. And I'm like, what?
It makes no sense to me. It doesn't even, not from a math standpoint at all. I mean, I'm just talking about the numbers. It don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And the thing that gets me is, like, OptiMystic Prime, Melissa, Lady K, Kita, please explain something to me. I understand maybe they were some reason to not like us when we're in that lawsuit. Maybe some people didn't understand it. Maybe they didn't watch Rick from the start. Maybe they don't understand the history. But when you see Brad Garlinghouse having beef bourguignon or whatever it's called with Trump, and you see him at the crypto, and you see him at the crypto summit, and you see him speaking at the Senate hearing, and you see him getting ready to meet with all these guys at Swell, and Trump goes out, and because my mom told me a long time ago, sometimes the first thing that comes out your mouth is what you meant. And so when Trump got on Truth Social and put XRP, ADA, Solana, and then later on went back and added Ethereum, it's like, what is it that they're not getting? And then if that's not a big tell, the fact that nobody wants to say XRP, nobody wants to say it out loud. Even when they get on TV, they still call it Ripple coin. Like, what are they not seeing that we see?
Well, first of all, in EasyA app on the third page, there is a link to an 11-year-old document written by Ripple, and it actually has XRP, and then in brackets, it says pronounced Ripple. So just so you know, we're supposed to be pronouncing it called ripples. So that's one side of it.
Okay.
But second, I think Melissa talked about it with Mr. Man this week on Dip a Toe about the risk, right? And like, I was talking to some people this week, and like, my friends who they bought $100 worth of XRP a few months back, trusted me with that. But all of a sudden, they get advertisements every week or every day about Kraken. So they're like, oh, so what do you think about this Kraken? I was like, well, you can get XRP on Kraken, but then you're not actually owning it. Like, what I taught you to do is how you actually own it. But all of a sudden, they're all into, the crypto. And then this other friend was talking about how he made an investment and he returned, double his investment in 5 years. And I was like, so yeah. Like, if you have $1,000, I'd put it on XRP if I were you. And he's like, well, I do. And I was like, well, then what are you waiting for? And he's like, well, when it's $6, I said, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's $2.80 now. If it's $6, you will double your thing. Like, what are you talking about? And I think that, like, first of all, it's risk. Second of all, it's familiarity. Third of all, it's sovereignty, which is like the claiming of yourself, which is very hard for people. It's a psychological thing. And if you look, we used to talk about this in Ladies Night, and it's almost been 2 years, honestly, Jay, because it was like February 2024 when we started chatting. And, if you look at like the cycle of how people are, they fight for their prisons, and they, and ultimately, like, what I have found, going back to like all your questions, what I've found over the past 2 years since we first met is, first of all, I've been able to get to know the people here. And so I'm able to discern who, sort of keeps a level head and stays out of the drama versus, just being new to the community and sort of just trying to fit in. And, I truly believe those with eyes to see. And that ultimately what I believe about XRP is it's us. It's, and also you have to factor in the NDAs. Like, there's more than 1,000 NDAs that have been signed. And so when when they can't talk about it, like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like, you know me, you've known me for 2 years, you know I can't lie unless
Yeah.
we're a murder mystery, and then I'm a winner. But
Right.
don't tell anybody, I'm a really good liar. But that's the thing, is I don't like lying.
Right.
And ultimately, if I was under an NDA, I would have a very hard time communicating, because I'd be muted. And so therefore, I don't know how that works. I've never had to like lie about things in order to like, not get sued.
Right.
And so I think that plays a factor in it. But ultimately, I truly believe that like we have this intuition in us that's calling us into this while the risk was super high.
Yeah.
And what I'm noticing is that, in my opinion, it really is us that are creating the environment and the energy field that is building what we imagine in our own minds. And that takes us exceptionally rare individuals that are connected to a higher source and to themselves, to their real intuition. And so I think it's a lot of factors, but that's my opinion.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And you said some key things in regards to the NDAs, and there's just so much in place with XRP that is almost redundant for some of the things that they're saying. I like what Crypto Clay here said. He said BTC did it with zero utility. I looked at something today that was posted by Aminix, and it kind of goes back. And I don't really, some of these guys that give these price predictions, I don't really get into all that. And I'm not showing this for the $227 price point, but what I am saying,
like it though, Jay.
No, I like it. But you know what's factual in here? Here's the one thing that's a fact. People forget that XRP went up like 15 or 17,000% from 5 cents to $3.84. Like, they forget that this thing shot through the roof. And I guess what he was saying here says history doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. And I'm thinking to myself, if XRP can go from 5 cents all the way to 384. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but 5 times, all the way to 384. What happens when all these things, like Jake Claver says, kicks in? What actually happens? And how come they don't see what we see, or they just don't want to see it? But yeah, that's
like I said, Jay, there are so many different things that XRP is being used for.
Yeah.
Test piloting different things that it is that's going to lock up the value. Even listening to folks this afternoon, or I listened back to, there was a fuzzy space that David Schwartz went in, and then right around the 45-minute mark, he came in and he was explaining, how, you have your own tokenomics and you got the XRP tokenomics, and how, the value of your meme token can actually follow XRP. And so you're in effect locking XRP up with your meme token or whatever. And so, all of us in here, we're listening to these people that are trying to tokenize their businesses or start new businesses and figure out tokenomics for it. And, you got Patrick Riley with his economic system. All of these things are meant to lock it up and use it and earn yield from it, or earn fees from swapping and use it as the utility. And so, the world is a really big place, man. And if people can grab these bags of XRP and then these larger institutions and things get locked up, and then the Basel III and the 1-to-1 and all of these things, it's significant, in my opinion.
It kind of reminds me of what Crypto Clay. He's been throwing some bars in the chat here, but he says,
"Love you." Yeah, he's awesome.
He says David Schwartz, Arthur Brittle, and Jack Dorsey are 3 of the Satoshis in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is these are 3 of the Bitcoin developers, right?
Smart.
And why is it that in real life, which this is real life, but if Elon, who started PayPal, has so much credibility when he went over to go start Tesla, and then so much credibility when he went over and decided to buy X, and all these things that he does. So when he wants to go do something next, he gets a lot of credibility from the billions that he's created, whether it's SpaceX and everything else. Well, you got these guys that worked on this asset that went from 4 cents to $111,000. 3 of them went on to start this amazing asset, which is better than Bitcoin by far, which is XRP. So why isn't there not the same credibility following these gentlemen that worked on Bitcoin that are now, and then everyone wants to rebuke XRP, but these are the same guys that worked on Bitcoin, which you believe in. It just doesn't make any sense.
I even got to give you this one too, 6AJ. Elon Musk was part of the seed money for XRP.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
not get
I didn't
it
know that.
twisted.
Yeah.
He was
I
part of
didn't
the
know that.
PayPal mafia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Wow.
are
Okay.
correct.
So
No, I
if
knew that
that's
part,
the
yeah.
case, you got to realize people are just leaving that behind, and he can act like he doesn't know what XRP is, but he leaves little jewels, you
He
know what I
does.
mean,
He
every
does.
now and again, and it lets you know that XRP is a lot more on his radar than people are really giving it credit for, or that he's even allowed to maybe speak about. And so for me, I'm like, I think, listen, they're all, at the end of the day, they all in on it. Okay.
Right.
All of them. If he was part of the seed phrase for OpenCoin, which then became XRP, then there's no way he doesn't know what it is, what it does, how it does it, what the cost is going to be for, or what the actual liquidity is going to be for it. Absolutely not. I don't believe it. Sorry.
Listen,
I agree.
listen. Can I just say something I think is really funny?
Absolutely.
Number one, because I know we're almost done. Number one, this could be a whole story that's been written, okay? And there's people playing parts, okay? I believe a lot of the world operates that way. What I find hilarious is we are such diggers in the XRP community and Bitcoin and other way, right? We're digging up these we're making like mind maps and figuring out this company is connected to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, right? We do it to expose corruption, okay? We are actually going, look at Ripple is here, all of these things. And so, it's just kind of ironic that we are like throwing it out there. Like, we know your game. Like, we're actually even teaching people how to research a company and how deep does the pockets go and who's involved. And so all these families have been controlling the world forever. Their secrets are exposed.
Yeah.
How they do things, right? Yeah. And so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you're holding XRP and you're researching it, you're going to be just fine. Just don't sell it right now. Don't sell it.
Yeah,
right?
no, I
learn about it. Don't sell.
No, I do agree with it. Go ahead, Lady Kim. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I believe if the XRP army was as interested in Bitcoin as XRP, would have figured out who Satoshi is, because we research.
That's one of the biggest and most that in itself is a whole nother conversation. Trust me. No, I do agree with Crypto Clay. He says, I did not consolidate, I diversified because there is going to be multiple winners. Now, I do believe in that. I think there's going to be a lot of different winners. It's an old saying that I've heard some people in this space use. I think Paul Barron and a couple others. Look, it's great to be diversified. I think what people have to do is I think with anything in life, as you continue to grow and you continue to learn, because when I got in this space, guys, I'm going to admit I probably had over 100 coins. I was buying everything everything and anything that made sense. I'm down to maybe 10 solid projects now. And that came at a time before everything kind of popped. And what I realized is that those 10 solid things all popped together at one time. And some of the things that I got out of, they haven't moved. And I just believe that there's an old saying, a master of too many things becomes a master of nothing. And so you don't want to spread yourself so thin, because you're chasing zeros, or this has 15 zeros, whatever the case may be. I think, you guys give me your opinion, but I think speculative markets or just a bunch of shenanigans and all this stuff, we're going to do this in the first and all that, the BS. I think those cycles are gone, because where we're at now, I think it's utility. I think it's things that are going to really change this world. And I'm not saying other things. There's a lot of things that are going to win, but I would definitely focus on things that are going to make a difference in the world that we know it, as we know it today. And I think that's the best bet in investing. You guys, any opinions on that before we get out of here? Anything you guys want to share before we got about 2 or 3 minutes before we get up out of here to be under our hour, right at
I was going to ask, are we at an hour because you're on IMU TV? Yeah, shout out to IMU TV. Congratulations on being on there. Shout out to Melissa and Dipato for starting the trend. And Niall, if you want to Check out all of us, except Keita won't be there next week because she's on vacay. Obviously, Ladies Nights on Monday night with Melissa and the Dipito family, and Lady K and I co-host on every day except when I'm not there. But Lady K's there every day on Stones, Coffee, and Crypto. And I have the Woo Woo Book Club, but we'll talk about that some other day.
Well, we don't have to rush, guys, because remember in the beginning of the show, I said something went wrong and I thought we weren't live. I just looked up in the corner, and for whatever reason, it didn't accept my IMUTV credentials, so we're not live on. So they'll probably share it. So there is no. So anything you guys want to say, but what I want to do before we get up out of here, I thought I see the icon, but it says that we're not live on IMUTV today. But I'll make sure I get that code and fix that for next time. But I want to give you guys the love and respect that you guys deserve. So if you guys do me a favor, please go over and follow my sister. Lady Kristen 222, brilliant mind, and very, very doing a lot of great things in the space. Also, let me see if I can get up the next person here. Do me a personal favor and go check out OptiMystic Prime. It's at OptiMystic Prime on X. She's got her hands in a lot of different things, especially in the XRP community, XRPL community. Do me a huge favor and go check out. Now, what nights do you go live, Keita? Is it still Thursday night evening? Besides what you're doing with,
I am actually going to be sunsetting the Keeping It 100 with Keita and the crew in its current iteration. Because I'll be doing once I come back from my vacation, I will be doing Keita's Brew TV. And that is an extension of Keita's Brew. And I started off with whipped beef tallow balm. So Keita1211 is my handle on X app. And I will be on IMU TV with Keita's Brew TV.
Is this it right here, sis? Is that it?
Yes, that's my website, ketasbrew.com. And it's for my
best beef tallow ever. Best ever.
My
you
wife.
Have to buy it. You have to get it. It's so awesome.
Wife, she loves this stuff. You gave it away at the XRP Las Vegas.
I did. Yeah. And the beauty of it is that I really want for people to have great products. And have something that's going to do really well for their skin. And so that's the objective. That's my website. That's where you can find me for my whipped beef tallow balm. And hey, Keita's Brew can be anything. And that's the reason why it's Keita's Brew TV. And we're going to talk about what Keita's brewing today and have some people on and be able to showcase other people that are doing great things just the same way that I am trying to do. And then after that, we'll probably do an after space, much like my girl, Miss Melissa, does with Dipito, and talk about all of those great things and bring those people into those spaces. So that's kind of what's going on with me. And I'm super excited about all of it. And being here with these ladies just makes it even better.
And Keita, I just got the men's. I'm going to be using it. Because
don't you love the scent?
Oh yeah.
Well, my wife, the reason that what reminded me of it, one day I was complaining about something. I don't remember what it was, and she ran up and started rubbing the stuff on my face. I said, "What the hell is that?" And it was Keita stuff. So I was like, "Good Lord, okay."
I love it.
I'm going to tell you, I'm super excited. Stone has named it my Keita's Men's Face Cleanser. And I've taken some really great notes from masculine scents, from sandalwood, cedar, and then also some sweet tobacco. And I kid you not, for myself and for any lady, I swear, when you smell it, you're going to be like, ooh, this smells so good.
You should name the men's cleanser Stone.
There you go.
You know what? I should.
Why not? Why not?
I think I should, because I'm not kidding. He was like, "Look, Keita, I cannot use this as a body cleanser because, he's so used to like a real heavy lather when it comes to like cleaning your body. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good cleanser. It just means it's got good lather. Awesome. And I'm not mad if you're used to that. Okay, cool. But the beauty of it is it's the first thing that I've ever seen that will cleanse your skin and then also moisturize it at the same time. So
I love it.
that's
I
what
love
that's what I love about it.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I was testing it out, so I'll be actually putting it on the website pretty soon. And I'm super excited for everybody to try it and
Awesome.
love it and be able to have it work well for themselves. So
All righty.
thank you.
We love it. Well, you guys make sure you guys go check out Keita. WorldBeFree, if you could do me a favor, sis, can you tell me some of the stuff that's here on your X page, like Wandering
It's me.
Footprint?
Yeah, this is all
Blue
my
Umbrella?
projects.
Okay. So what can they learn about OptiMystic going to your X page?
Yeah, well, we talked about it. We used to talk about it a little bit in Ladies Night a couple years ago. So I've been working on this humanitarian project for 5 years. It's called The Wandering Footprint. I have a dream of heaven on earth. It's in my mind. And I'm building on the blockchain to make it happen, finding all the best people. All three ladies here are Wandering Footprint 2025 Nomad members, supporting the dream. The blue umbrella token is the meme token for the Wandering Footprint, the bridge between real life and the matrix and the metaverse. I launched that on February 29th, 2024 on the leap year, right before I met you. And it's become sort of a beacon in the community. And I'm a truther. You're scrolling there. That's Wandering Home. So the Wandering Home community is about sovereignty. I post everything about claiming your sovereignty, anything that I find about standing in your rights as a living man or woman. The XOM token that you highlighted there, that's been sitting on the ledger since November 11th, 2023,
Wow.
waiting for all of my beautiful, wonderful friends to teach me all the things I need to know so that as I move forward to make that the utility token for the Wandering Home directory as that's rebuilt, because I lost it this year. Basically, I'm refocusing the Wandering Home directory to be focused on the XRPL community and sort of bringing onboarding. My dream is to onboard the people who are, self-sovereign, building out their own dreams and connecting them with the other people and getting them on the ledger so that they can have, sole custody and, have sovereignty. So yeah, I'm up to a lot of things. And that one main picture, my banner, I just changed it. I forgot that you do this, but and it's so nice that you do. You call up our profiles, but it was the picture from the Shark Tank up until 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I presented the Wandering Footprint in Las Vegas at the EZA Shark Tank, which was like a huge deal for me. And now I've just changed it to there's a community called Casino Society, and that image is actually a painting that's at the Louvre. It's called Checkmate, and there's a whole story behind it. But up until a couple years ago, I guess people always thought that it's a man playing with the devil, and that it was checkmate. And then this chess champion was staring at it, and he's like, "Oh no, the king has one more move." So it's always just a reminder that when the whole world is crapping on you, and you think that you don't want to keep going, just remember the king has one more move, and God wins in the end.
Well, that's amazing, very lovely, and I appreciate you, sis. And also, guys, go check out OptiMystic Prime and Keita TV. Looking forward to connecting with both of them. And Lady K, what can you tell us about some things that you're going on? I know you have a lot happening. You're all over the place in regards to a lot of X spaces and now the things that you're doing with OptiMystic Prime and Keita and WorldBeFree. What can they learn going to your X page and what you have coming up?
I don't have a project. I am a validator on the XRP ledger, and I'm also a validator on Algorand.
Wow.
And then I do run a DigiByte full history node. So, and then I do a lot of spaces, coffee and crypto with Stone in the morning. Mm-hmm. I'm doing the Digital Ladies Unscripted, with these beautiful ladies, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some.
Your real estate one.
I know in a couple hours here, we're probably going to play Murder Mystery on Steak and Bakes space. So yeah, you'll catch me on X.
Your real world asset, what Melissa just said, your real world asset space. You have your own space.
Oh yeah, the real estate. I talk real estate because I'm a real estate broker as well.
Okay. Yeah, I see it right here. XRP validator, Algorand validator, real estate broker. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Lady K is an absolute beast. Don't let
Yeah.
her downplay herself. She is
A
a
business,
force to
a,
be
a
reckoned
business.
with.
Well,
Keep your eyes
first of
up,
all,
Lady K, my friend.
there's a big difference between a realtor and a broker. So
Thank
congratulations,
you.
lady.
She
Yeah,
said broker, not real
yeah,
estate
no,
agent. That has to
no.
be
I had
that
my real
has to
estate
be
license. I know.
supervised by a broker. I caught
Yeah.
it all, honey.
Yeah. No, I had my real estate license back in the day when I back before the collapse. I was kind of into real estate and all that. I did one down with a broker. That's the next level. So congratulations, Lady K.
Thank you.
And last but not least, my sister, one of my biggest supporters for not only Crypto4Life, Chicago, anything that we do, and the reason that I'm connected on IMUTV because she mentioned my name, and then Niall reached out and said, Jay, I love your show. And so Dipito, WorldBeFree, talk to us about what you got going, not only with Dipito, because you guys have been bringing some extraordinary people on the platform, but also in regards to what can we expect moving forward with the where did it go? Oh, here it is right here. Okay, I'm sorry. With the, can I find it? I just had it. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, here we go. I was trying to pull this up. What can we expect with Dipito and also moving forward with Digital Ladies Unscripted? Do we have?
Hey Jay, do you want to switch our where we are so that you can see her while she's talking because she's hidden behind your comments?
Okay, let me see. I don't know how to do that. How about I just take this off? But yeah, can you tell us what to expect with Digital Ladies Unscripted and Dipito? What's coming up this week and next Monday, so everybody can get ready to tune in.
Well, first I want to say hello to beautiful Jeanette. Like, look at the beautiful picture up there.
She's great. Isn't she beautiful? Seriously,
absolutely gorgeous, and she's just even more gorgeous in person, and just a lovely, wonderful, nice person. And I was
just add to that. Every day I roll over and I see her before she gets up. I thank God every day that she chose me. So
I love the way you love. I love the way you love each other. I think it's fantastic. So I just had to shout her out. Yeah, so super excited. Excuse me. Dipito show is coming up on its 2-year anniversary in October.
Wow.
We actually started under my previous stuff was with Vita Broadcast Network, but we won't go there. But we actually started the show in October 2 years ago, and then January we actually started. I actually opened the Dipito channel, so we are about 2 years old. And we go live every Monday or every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have an after space at 10 p.m. on X. Our show is very interactive. I encourage everyone to come join us in the chat, particularly on YouTube. We just hit our 1,000 subscribers, which is an incredible milestone. Shout out to first of all, everybody that's followed us since day one. We love you guys so much. We're very much an organic show. And we just needed that little push to get us over the edge, over the hump. And Uncle Buster and Berserker gave us a couple of shouts out, and that's all it took. And boom, we hit it. So I'm very thankful to them. So next week, it's just going to be Simon and myself. No guests next week. We are going to talk about the importance and the incredible time that we're living in right now in hopes to inspire more folks, since we do have a lot of new folks subscribe to the Dipito channel. And so, really looking forward to that. And then Digital Ladies Unscripted, it's a brand new show. And that is going to be every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 hour show only. We're going to, like I said, it's Keita and myself with rotating co-hosts with these ladies who we're going to figure out how it's going to all work. But there's going to be some iteration of the four of us. And we're going to have chats about different things. We're going to have guests, much like what we do on the Dipito show as well. There's a lot of big things coming for next year. A lot of topics that we're going to be touching on in the future. And we're just super excited. Please follow the channel if you're not. We're at Dipito on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, at Dipito Show on X. And then the Digital Ladies, we do have a YouTube channel, Digital Ladies Unscripted right on YouTube, and DL Unscripted on X. And yeah, we're firing that one up. So yeah, super excited. Really appreciate all. And I just want to say this too. You are a channel from day one that has shouted out Dip a Toe Show and myself personally every time, every show. And I love you for it. I appreciate you so much. And I enjoy your show at 3:00 because I'm at work and I need something entertaining that I can engage with, I can listen to, and I can still do my job and get me through the rest of the day. And your show is it. And so if you guys are tuning in because I'm streaming on Dip a Toe and you're not subscribed to Jay's channel, you should be subscribing to it. So
thank you, sis. I you know, it fills my heart with all those kind words, and you know, I take pride in sharing everything that everyone's doing. I also want to give a shout out to somebody who has been a huge supporter of all of ours and just an incredible guy. Shouts out to Stone, just a really incredible guy. I love what he's doing. I love his heart. So shouts out to you, Stone, and all your support for all of us. Definitely means the world to me. And if you guys get a chance, you guys can also check out. If you ever get a chance, go check out our Crypto4Life channel. It's Crypto4Life with your boy James, aka 68J. Again, we go live each and every day, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know, it's funny. I was watching Niall. Niall went on, and by the way, guys, we got some of the most incredible interviews as well. But Niall went out one day and he kind of put a description of what I do. And he said, you know, very informative, this and that. And you know, the character 68J is a bit comic. And so, you know, I love it. You know, I can't take any credit. I blame it on the coffee. I'm low-key like a coffee crackhead. So you guys pray for me. I appreciate you guys in a major way. With that being said, anything else you want to add before we get up out of here?
Shout out to IMU TV, Rob, Fitzy, and Niall, who are just working hard every day. And thank you so much for having Dip a Toe Show and now Digital Ladies Unscripted and, you know, 68J on streaming to, I think it's up to 30 countries now. So what an incredible opportunity. And if you guys are not going there, you're not familiar with it, just look at imutv.tv and Web3, like watch live Web3, and you're going to see all of our content streaming there. So super exciting time, guys. Get on the ground floor of this.
Before we get out of here, just on because a lot of times we're all crypto. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Anybody?
Well, I'm going to be getting ready to get out of here and get on a boat. But other than that, I do want to say thank you, 68J, for having us ladies here tonight again. Yes, for bringing us back for this reunion. I'm sorry that the rest of the ladies couldn't be here, but I am always excited and happy to be here with these ladies because we legit talk to each other outside of here and really have great conversations together. So I really appreciate that. And the time that you've taken to be able to highlight the ladies of the ledger. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for all that you do for this XRPL community and for the ecosystem.
Well, thank you so much, sis. It means the world to me. And it also means the world to me that we've all, other than Lady K, and I'm looking forward to that, but we all finally had a chance to get together, have a little food, a little drinks at Melissa's event on Thursday, and then XRP Las Vegas 2025 and all that. Just the togetherness, the fellowship has been amazing. You guys are truly, truly amazing people, not just on screen, but in person as well. So I appreciate you guys in a major way. Anything else you guys want to add? How about Melissa, Lady K, Optimus Prime, anything, any special plans?
I just want to say thank you so much for that special award. I didn't get to say it at the beginning of the show. It was really, it made me cry. I was shocked. And, you know, it was so nice, to watch Zach Rector's wife, watch him up on that panel, got a couple special pictures. And I did want to shout out James Schmeckles that you just have on the screen here right now. He's one of the OGs in the space. I'm not sure how many of your people know him, but his token, the Schmeckles, is one of the oldest meme tokens on the ledger. It's still going. And if you're looking for something to do after this show, he has marbles on Twitch, and it's really fun. And you can win Blue Umbrella tokens or XFT, which is the IMU TV token, and protectors, NFTs, and a whole bunch of other things like X-Meme. And if you want to get involved with the community in a fun way, it's a great place. And then also you can find Lady K and I, and probably these beautiful ladies, Melissa and Kita, later today on Steak and Bake's show. We're always there in the afternoon. So just wanted to shout out James for all that he does for the Ledger and for forging ahead with Zoj when there was nobody here. So thank you for still being here, James.
No, absolutely. So you said he goes on live what time?
I always get the time zones wrong. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's 5 p.m. for me. So I think in 45 minutes, he might text. He might write at the bottom there. In an hour. There you go.
James, do us a favor, brother, if you can. Put it down in our chat here if you have a link. And also, thank you to all you guys. And Crypto Clay, with the, some people call it super chat. I call it virtual hug, brother. Thank you for the virtual hug. Much love to you, your family, your wife.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't like saying super chat because then you got to put a price. If I say virtual hug, it doesn't matter what dollar amount. It's a virtual hug. So thank you guys so much for that. And make sure you guys go check out our brother, James Ray XRP Schmickles in about 40 minutes? 41 minutes. So looking forward to that as well. Okay, ladies, we appreciate you guys. From me and my wife, thank you guys for being part of our family. We love you guys a piece of. She, by the way, picked out those awards and helped me create everything. So she loves you guys as much as I do. Thank you so much. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. With that being said, guys, we got to end it the same way we started it, honoring these incredible, amazing ladies. And there's only one way to do that, including my beautiful wife. Guess what? It's ladies' night. Let's do this. Right way. There we go. Greatest ladies on planet Earth. EARF. Get down straight. Come on.
How can you not dance to this?
I'm dancing because no one can see me. Huh? Ain't nobody see me. Oh. Oh.
Have a great night.
You guys take care. Appreciate you guys.
No, thank you for also having us. We appreciate y'all.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Until next time, it's your boy James and Ladies Night. All these amazing ladies. Peace.
Good night.